Most people believe this one idea. If I work hard enough, I'll get rich. They wake up early. They stay late. They sacrifice weekends. They grind for years. Yet somehow, they're still stuck. Bills keep rising. Savings stay small. Freedom feels far away. Meanwhile, someone else works less, but earns more. So what's the difference? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not intelligence. It's ownership. Today, I'm going to explain why hard work alone never made anyone rich, and why ownership always does. Stay till the end, because this mindset shift can completely change your financial future. The hard work myth. From childhood, we are programmed with one message. Study hard, work hard, be loyal, success will come. But look around. Who works the hardest? Construction workers, factory laborers, delivery drivers, nurses working double shifts. Are they the richest? No. Hard work is common. Wealth is rare. That should tell you something. Hard work is not the problem. Hard work without leverage is. If hard work made people rich, the richest people would be the most exhausted. But in reality, the wealthiest people often control systems, own assets, earn while they sleep. Hard work only pays once. Ownership pays again and again. The time trap. When you work a job, you're trading time for money. And time has a limit. You only get 24 hours a day. Finite energy. A limited lifespan. No matter how hard you work. You can't work 30 hours a day. You can't clone yourself. You can't pause aging. This is why salary has a ceiling. Ownership removes that ceiling. When you own something, your income is no longer tied to hours. Your effort can scale. Your work keeps paying you. Hard work says, pay me for my time. Ownership says, pay me for my value. WHO actually gets rich. Let's look at who becomes wealthy. Not employees, but business owners, shareholders, investors, content creators who own their audience, people who own intellectual property. A worker builds the house. The owner rents it. A driver delivers food. The platform owner earns from millions of drivers. A coder writes software. The company owner sells it globally. Same effort, different outcome. Because ownership multiplies effort. Ownership equals leverage. Leverage means one action produces many results. Ownership gives you leverage through capital, systems, media, technology, people. When you own a YouTube channel, right pointing arrow, one video reaches millions. A business, right pointing arrow, systems work without you. Shares, right pointing arrow, companies work for you. Digital products, right pointing arrow, one creation sells forever. Hard work without ownership is like running on a treadmill. You sweat, you move, but you go nowhere. Ownership turns effort into momentum. Why most people never own? So why doesn't everyone do this? Because ownership requires patience, risk, long-term thinking, delayed gratification. Most people want fast money, comfort, certainty, approval. School trains obedience, not ownership. Jobs train compliance, not control. You're taught to follow instructions, avoid mistakes, play safe, but ownership demands the opposite. That's why it's rare. That's why it's powerful. How to start owning. Ownership doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow. It means building assets slowly. Examples. Start a faceless YouTube channel. Learn a high-income skill and sell it. Build a small online business. Invest consistently. Create digital products. Build an audience. Use your job as fuel, not a destination. Work hard, but for yourself. Every hour should move you closer to control, freedom, ownership. Final message. Hard work is important, but without ownership, you'll always depend on someone else. Your income will always be fragile. Your freedom will always be limited. Ownership is how effort turns into wealth. Ownership is how time turns into freedom. Ownership is how ordinary people become wealthy. The goal isn't to work harder. The goal is to own more. If this video changed how you think about money, subscribe to Wealth Pocket. Because comfort keeps you poor, and ownership sets you free. Most people are exhausted. They wake up early, rush to work, come home tired, and repeat the same routine every day. They believe one thing keeps them going. If I keep pushing, one day I'll be rich. But years pass, and that, one day, never comes. The problem isn't laziness. The problem isn't discipline. The problem is believing that effort alone creates wealth. In reality, effort without control only creates survival. Today, we're breaking down why grinding harder doesn't lead to riches, and why ownership is the real path to financial freedom. Why effort is overrated. Look at the world around you. Who works the longest hours? Manual laborers, shift workers, drivers, nurses, security guards. These people are not weak. They are not careless. They are not lazy. Yet most of them remain financially stuck. Why? Because effort is everywhere, but wealth is not. Effort is valuable, but only when it's connected to something you own. When you work for someone else, your income has a cap. Your value is rented. Your time is consumed. You don't build equity. You build someone else's dream. Time is the real prison. A job ties your income to hours. No hours worked equals no money earned. That's a dangerous system because time is limited, energy fades, health declines. You can't outwork time. Ownership breaks this rule. When you own an asset, your work continues to pay you. Your income isn't hourly. Your effort compounds. Time works for you, not against you. That's why wages grow slowly, but assets grow exponentially. WHO actually builds wealth. Wealth rarely comes from labor. It comes from business ownership, stock ownership, real estate, digital platforms, intellectual property. The builder constructs the building. The owner collects rent. The employee creates value. The shareholder captures profit. Same economy, different position. The difference isn't intelligence, it's who owns the outcome. Ownership creates leverage. Leverage means small effort producing massive results. Ownership provides leverage through systems, technology, capital, media, teams. One video can reach millions. One product can sell thousands of times. One investment can grow for decades. Effort alone doesn't scale. Ownership does. That's why wealthy people don't chase paychecks. They build machines that print them. Why most people never cross over? If ownership is so powerful, why don't more people do it? Because it's uncomfortable. Ownership requires patience without rewards, risk without guarantees, faith without applause. Most people are trained to seek stability, avoid mistakes, follow instructions. Ownership demands responsibility, uncertainty, long-term thinking. Comfort feels safe, but comfort is expensive. It costs you freedom. How to start owning in real life. Ownership isn't about quitting your job overnight. It's about redirecting effort. Start small. Build a faceless YouTube channel. Create digital products. Learn a monetizable skill. Invest consistently. Build an audience you control. Use your job as funding. Use your nights as construction time. Don't work endlessly. Work intentionally. The real goal. Working hard is honorable, but working hard without ownership is exhausting. True wealth comes from control over income, control over time, control over decisions. Effort keeps you alive. Ownership sets you free. The question isn't, how hard am I working? It's, what do I own? If this video changed how you see money, subscribe to Wealth Pocket, because freedom isn't earned by effort alone. It's built through ownership. From the day we're young, we're taught one rule. Work hard, and success will follow. So people grind. They sacrifice sleep. They trade health for overtime. They give years of their life to work. Yet most never reach financial freedom. Not because they didn't try hard enough, but because they tried the wrong strategy. This video will show you why effort alone doesn't create wealth, and why ownership is the missing piece nobody talks about. Hard work is everywhere. Take a moment and look around society. Who puts in the most physical and mental effort? Laborers, cleaners, drivers, factory workers, nurses on night shifts. These people work harder than most CEOs. But are they financially free? No, because effort is common. Value ownership is rare. Hard work without control turns into survival. Hard work with ownership turns into wealth. That's the difference. Selling time is a dead end. When you rely on a paycheck, you're selling hours. That creates three problems. Time is limited. Energy declines. Income has a ceiling. You can only earn while you're present. Stop working, and the money stops too. Ownership changes this completely. When you own, your income isn't hourly. Your effort compounds. Your results scale. You stop chasing money. Money starts following systems you control. WHO really profits in the system. Every industry has two roles. The worker, the owner. The worker does the task. The owner controls the outcome. The chef cooks the food. The restaurant owner builds wealth. The driver makes the deliveries. The platform owner earns millions. The employee produces value. The shareholder collects profits. Same system, different position. Wealth flows to ownership, not labor. Ownership multiplies results. Ownership creates leverage. Leverage means one effort, many rewards. Small actions, massive outcomes. Examples: one video right pointing arrow, millions of views. One product right pointing arrow, endless sales. One investment right pointing arrow, years of growth. Effort alone doesn't scale. Ownership does. That's why wealthy people build assets instead of chasing salaries. Why most people never own anything. If ownership is so powerful, why don't more people pursue it? Because it's uncomfortable. Ownership requires delayed gratification, risk tolerance, long-term vision, self-responsibility. Most people are trained to obey instructions, avoid mistakes, seek security. Ownership demands independence, and independence scares people. Comfort feels safe, but it slowly destroys opportunity. Practical ways to start owning. Ownership doesn't require quitting your job tomorrow. It requires direction. Start by building assets, a faceless YouTube channel, digital products.